All right, y'all, I want y'all to think about something. And I'm about to give y'all nothing but some cold facts. These things are happening and they're happening way too much. And it's like nobody knows how to stop the bleeding. This generation is just worse. I don't care if you have a college degree. I don't care if you make six figures. I don't care if you're a damn millionaire. None of that means nothing. It seems like very few people care about actually being a good person. Everything is all about just individual success. I got this, I got that. What you got? You know, I'm this, I'm that. I accomplished this. I did this by myself. Right? Everybody's just all about themselves, stroking their ego. Let me tell you what's happening right now. And this has been happening for a while, okay? But this is what's happening. And as I said, it's like nobody knows how to stop the bleeding. Everybody just keep doing the same things over and over that don't work. You see, we're in a time where men and women don't get along. Now, me being a black man and coming from a family that I have a black mama, I have a black father, and so on. I have mixes in my family and all of that. Let me tell you what's happening. Okay, let me tell you what's happening. And black women, black men, y'all especially need to pay attention because we already have everybody else in the world that hate us. But let me explain something to you guys. What I'm seeing happening right now is this. When women are raising their sons, their daughters, especially their sons, this is what's happening, especially their sons. When they have a hatred for the father of their sons, it's like I don't need you. I can do this by myself, right? This independent shit. I don't need you, right? Now, yeah, they run to try to get child support. They try to do all this shit, right? Now, here's what I'm telling you. I'm not talking about so much you guys that's separated, but it goes kind of two ways. It plays out in both scenarios. Because what's happening is this. If you're separated, yeah, they coming for child support. The man is saying, first of all, I have no problem doing what I have to do with my sons, right? With my kids or whatever. But now we're talking about when your sons are big. This is what happens. You done went through your child support era. Now your sons, they don't need child support. They're young men. Now, you help them however you can because you love them. Now, if you happen to be in a relationship, but your family is dysfunctional, you sleep in separate rooms, people just come and go as they please. Here's what happens. If you have one parent in that house that's doing their damnedest to keep everything together, it still don't matter in the long run as far as how people react. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. And I'm seeing this so often. When these women get to the point that they want to try to compete with you, they want to try to have this, I want you to love me more than I want you to love your father. When they try to have this, you know, I carried you for 9 months. Oh, I did this, I did that. Like everything is a comparison and trying to really have you look at them like they're flawless, like you owe them something, like daddy ain't shit. What ends up happening when the son starts to see through the bullshit and the mother starts saying to the sons, you act just like your father. They're not saying that in a good way. And especially when everybody see that father loves his sons, he spends all his quality time with those sons. That father goes to work. That father provides. That father educates, teaches, and spends quality time. That father shows support. It doesn't matter to that woman. It gets to the point, things start happening. What does the mother say? Don't tell your father. Something goes wrong. You want to know how disrespectful these women are getting? The mother won't even say nothing to the father. They don't want you're married. Okay? They don't want the father to get involved in anything. The lame excuses, he wouldn't understand, or he'll overreact, or whatever. Now when they're telling you you're acting just like your father, is because you see through their bullshit. You're not falling for it anymore. You want to know what they're doing? They're not telling the father anything. They're going to church members. They're going to co-workers, other relatives that got nothing to do with anything. And you know what they're doing? They're kissing your ass exactly the way you want them to. They're telling you whatever you want to hear based on what you're saying. All of a sudden things happen. They're reaching out to social workers. You know what people start doing? Do you feel safe? Do you feel threatened? This and oh yeah. Well, sometimes I blah, blah, blah. Now, your son leaves the house angry. What do? You go call the police and say, could you please talk to my son? I just want him to calm down. Worst case scenario, you get some racist, crooked, dirty, rotten bastard of a cop that decides he's going to come up or she's going to come up, and it's not going to be one. You just basically gave them the signal, whether you realize it or not. You just put a target on your son's back, because now, guess what? They're telling you, you're telling them, my son is dangerous. I don't feel safe when he acts like that. Do you stupid women think that these cops are coming to talk to your son? You don't think they're coming to antagonize? They're coming to intimidate? They're looking for a reason to do something to this black man because your stupid ass decides you want to call the police on your own son. But I wasn't calling them to do anything to him. I just wanted them to. But you see the news every week. You stand up in church every weekend, lying to yourselves, lying to all these idiotic, foolish, fairy tale believing people about what God can do. Well, is God telling the police to do this to our black children? And you're either watching your son get pummeled by the police, get arrested, do time in jail, or end up getting killed by the police. And what do? Pray some more. For what? Now you want to play the victim like it happened to you. You caused it. You see, you don't want your sons to love their fathers. You simply don't want them to have a relationship with their fathers. Then you want to try to play like everything comes back to you in a negative way for trying to do the right things. What's right about you? What mother tells their sons, your father don't love you, your father don't care about you? What is this? Is what you guys are trying to put in these kids' heads. But then they know, why are you saying that? Then they start talking to you like, wait a minute, what's going on here, right? They start to see through your bullshit. Now you act just like your father because you're not taking this shit laying down. You got family members calling, well, your mother told me, and then they get cursed out. Oh, I see what you mean, because the family members don't think that's none of my business. And if anything, you got to show love. But you know what they're not aware of? They're not aware of the things that you're saying to your sons. How do you feel as a mother to know that your son is dead? Your son is no longer alive, or your son is in prison because of your stupid ass. Because you think calling the fucking police, they're going to come and have a nice sit down with him. Nah, he got the wrong skin complexion for that. The wrong type of hair. The wrong ethnicity. And this is what you're producing. This is what your so-called God is telling you to do when you go to church. Pray my strength in the Lord, and we have to ask God for guidance and all the bullshit y'all say, but this is what's happening. This is the outcome. And a lot of times when y'all hear these stories about these dirty cops doing what they doing, a lot of times what y'all don't know, because it don't make the news, it might be something that you might see a headline, on like a news website or something that sends out, these notifications. But overall, A lot of times what you don't know is, yeah, the mom called these police. And I think a lot of times they want to see something happen to you until it happens in front of their face. Then they realize that's not what I really wanted. Or maybe that is what y'all actually want. And for you to sit up and say, these cops are racist, they don't care nothing about us, they hate us, they target us, but then you call them. And instead of you sitting down with your husband, instead of you coming to your husband like a wife is supposed to, and vice versa, no, you want to do it by yourself. You want to hide everything. You want to keep it to yourself. Lie to your sons to make them think if daddy finds out, he might do something, and you know, the cop, no, but then you end up calling the cops anyway. Now you don't feel safe in your own home. Your sons aren't bothering you. They're not threatening you. You are causing problems because you want to be Miss I'm independent. I don't need a man to do nothing. I can do everything myself, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and they want to be the center of attention. Now, if you are a female and you're too stupid to understand where I'm coming from, shut the fuck up. Don't come in my comment sections and make me curse your stupid ass out. If you listen and understand what I'm telling you, these are the type of women that are causing issues. Then they sit here, if they're on social media, and make their little videos crying and talking about what they're going through. They don't tell you guys the truth. All these people do is lie to themselves. And I think most of them, they the ones that need help. I know psychiatrists that go see psychiatrists. Explain that one. I can tell you what to do, but at times I don't take that same advice for myself. Make that make sense. This is something that's nasty, it's disgusting, it's ugly, it's rotten. And when people have access to these stories the same way I do, have knowledge and understanding, you know what? They look at you for what you are. And the problem is, people like to just make everybody, put them up, scoop them up, and put them all in one big ball of wax. Like, this is what they do. No, this is why I'm not pointing the finger at everybody. I'm pointing the finger at those who do this. This is not okay. It's not acceptable. And I feel like this is a deliberate plot and twist, because now this mom figures, I'm not getting no more child support money. You grown now. Oh, now you can go live with daddy now, huh? Or now all of a sudden, you know, you're just like your father. We know what that means. And I'm going to tell y'all right now. The more you suffer, and the less you realize that these are self-inflicted wounds that you're putting on yourself, you're going to continue to suffer. And any men out there listening to these stories, if your simple ass think that your dick or your money or your little car or whatever is going to be enough to straighten this woman out, and all of a sudden you're going to date them and they're going to do better by you, oh no. You're just going to have somebody else's problem, somebody else's headache. And these black men are actually being beaten up and killed by police officers because their stupid mamas are calling the police on them just to talk to him. I'm afraid. Right, that's exactly what the cops going to say. I was fearful of my life, you know, and he was very aggressive. The mom called, yep, and everything you say, I dare you to go try to press charges and say that they killed my son. That wasn't necessary. All you did was got your son killed. You called someone that you know is the enemy. Because these cops that do this type of shit are not for us. Do we know all these cops? No. So how could you even feel comfortable calling the police on your son? How do you even feel comfortable calling them to your home to explain this to them? All they're doing is licking their lips like, yeah, as soon as we see this motherfucker, yeah, we gonna take care of it. I hope y'all getting what y'all wanted. And I hope that the suffering that y'all get is 10 times worse than what your sons faced. And I don't want you to die. I want you to live through it and suffer. I really don't even have words for people like y'all. I really just don't have any words for you. But I tell you what, for everything that I see and witness, for everybody that goes through these things, everybody who's had this situation happen to them, I'm going to tell you something. Don't repeat that cycle. Don't raise your kids to be that way. If you cannot talk and reason and show love and have patience with each other, what the fuck? Why are you married? This is that whole love has nothing to do with it. It's all about paying bills, giving me money. No, not we doing it. You do it. I'm special. You're going to take care of me. Love has nothing to do with it. This is why they can do what they do. And you want to know something? When you didn't get the right type of love, you're only going to give what you know how to give. And as a man, for any woman that will call the police, if I know you called the police on your husband or you called the police on your kids, I want nothing to do with you. Because guarantee you did it to teach them a lesson and then that shit backfired. I'm out.